Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gaslight Theater with OlderNDumber crew. We are presenting The Green Knight this month. The Green Knight is a movie about Sir Gawain, something, the nephew of King Arthur in this round table after King Arthur's heyday. And he goes on a quest to find himself and find what it means to become a knight.
Not be a bitch.
I didn't know that fucking guy was King Arthur. They never said it.
Oh, bro,
I was like, there's a fucking round table, bro.
It's not a round table. It was a horseshoe table.
It was.
That wasn't round at all.
Like, he took the sword out, and I was like, oh, damn, that's Excalibur.
But just because you say it doesn't mean
It makes it true.
No, that's not how it works.
It is.
It's a Christmas movie,
If it
so believing makes it true.
It's a Christmas movie. You forgot to mention that it was a Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas
That
movie.
was one part that made it really work, is that it was a Christmas
I think
movie.
it could be a Christmas movie.
I think it's
Christmas
technically a Christmas movie.
King Arthur's nephew, Sir Gawain.
Yeah, that guy, no one said his name.
Gardwain.
Are we just guessing?
No, it is King Arthur because
Well,
the
who's-
legend of Sir the Green Knight is.
It's an Arthurian legend.
Yeah.
You got to know the deep lore, bro.
I don't know. Like my initial reaction is like, what the fuck did I just watch? And what was that last 30 minutes of my life being wasted?
Damn.
Wasted.
Yeah, like it's one of those bullshit, like it's like The Soprano when it just ends on a sentence. That's it.
I had a lot more fun with it than I was expecting.
Oh, yeah, we definitely
Um,
we definitely laughed a lot. It was very.
I was
very-
expecting it to be a little bit more haughty-taughty and up its own ass.
Okay.
And it turned out to be a little bit more fun and trippy and a little bit more humor in it. Even though I don't, some of it was intentional, some of it was not, but I thought it was enjoyable. It was a good watch. That's my initial reaction.
I didn't hate the movie in any way.
You did.
No, what?
I saw your
my
hatred in your eyes
God.
burning.
I will say it's not at the top of my list, obviously, but like, yeah, we had fun watching that movie, and I thought watching the movie was fun.
I love that movie.
You love that movie?
love
I thought you loved Baby Driver.
I love Baby Driver. That's why I chose it first.
Damn. So this is your second favorite movie?
No.
You're cheating on
Baby
Baby
Driver's
Driver.
also not my favorite
You're
movie.
cheating on Baby Driver with Green Knight.
Green Knight's very good. I picked this movie because I wanted something that was a little bit more like, this is a film.
Oh, this was his serious
I was
movie.
like, Joey, throw this up for Joey and see what he thinks. Hunter, I don't. Yeah, I wanted to throw this up basically as like, I really enjoyed this movie. I really like longer movies. I feel like I get more immersed and like can actually pay attention to the movie if it's longer and not just like I sit down, it's an hour, and then I'm like, oh, that felt like 20 minutes and I have to watch that again.
Usually an hour feels like an hour.
Not when I'm watching a movie. Like usually when I'm watching like a movie that's an hour, I just like it goes by immediately and I'm like, I don't know what just happened.
An hour is usually like a TV show.
45 minutes,
But,
actually.
Yeah, I picked this because I like longer movies and I like movies that make you think what's happening and try to figure out the movie as it's going.
What's real and what's not. That's what this movie was.
I couldn't follow a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
I was sort of in the
We
moment.
should have had Subway Surfer on the left-hand side
I
of
was-
the screen.
I was sort of in the moment for every
Opened
scene.
up May's stream.
Yeah. Which is another thing I really enjoyed. Is all of the camera shots were really well done, and like just some of them were just like.
Well, give it to
fuck,
A24 to always be like,
Fuck.
let's
this.
turn the camera upside down.
Not even that part. Like the part where he walks into where the Green Knight is, and like it's that alcove, and like,
Yeah.
you see the light behind you, see all of that, and I'm just like, damn, that's such a fucking good shot. Anyways, what worked, what didn't work? Mine is like the camera work was just like, ugh, so fucking good.
Back to what you were saying. A lot of those, the way they did frame the shots and block things out, and the way they used color was very reminiscent of like Renaissance paintings, where you would have these very muted color palettes with then like a bright shock of color, like his cloak would stand out against the background, or the blues, whatever color they were trying to accent, the green would stand out. And that's very reminiscent of like Renaissance paintings. And they used a lot of framing elements like door frames and, like you were saying, the alcove of the Green Knight's chapel at the end, which you would see in that sort of, that's very reminiscent of those techniques and like how he would pose in images.
Very intentional.
Yeah, it was. And it was very much to set that mood of this sort of not fantasy, Renaissance myth, I think. So I thought that worked really well. What didn't work for me was any CGI that they did on an animal.
The graphics, bro. The graphics are good. The graphics are hella good, bro.
Well, what did they do on an animal? Only the fox, really.
Except for a sheep.
No, the horse was not CGI.
No.
All right, fine.
The
The horse.
the
you're
fox,
right. I think it was
though,
just
was
the
like,
fox
this
was-
is a cartoon fox.
Yeah.
Every time the fox would show up, we were suddenly in a Disney movie.
No, I think I agree with the whole colors thing, like you were talking about. I mean, I didn't think of it as in depth as you just did, but I mean, it all makes sense. But no, I think the biggest thing I noticed is that with every scene and every new chapter, a new area we went to, there was the theme of a color, you know, or a theme the color brought about a theme that would be his journey for that portion of the story. Which, by the way, his journey is very bizarre. I would call him
A bizarre
I would call
adventure?
him a JoJo, if anything.
Well, it's supposed to
No,
be,
because a JoJo wouldn't be a man.
supposed to be
Oh,
a
you're
testing
right.
of his tenets as a knight.
I mean, there
We
is
can go back into
the
that
whole
thought.
thing about the tests. Some of that didn't work for me. I think like obviously there's the tests, right? Your kindness and your again, we'll get into that later, I guess. It was just sort of really confusing. However, the entire time, all I could think was, is this what it's like when I try to test you guys as players for D&D? Is this how you live? Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like a lot of it was so... The things that, obviously, I don't know. I guess you just can't explain it. But it's like, right in the beginning, everything gets fucking taken. He has nothing. Then he goes and meets Winifred, and then all of a sudden the axe is there. And then he goes and gets a weird hand job by himself, and there's his sash. And I don't know, the appearing of his items sort of, I feel like, needed to be explained somehow, but I don't know if you could. Like, what? How did those items get there?
I don't think any of the people that he met along the way were real. It was all
So
the
where did he
forest.
go? Where
It was all the test. Like all of that was travel.
he just entered a forest, and all of a
Like-
sudden it was just tests from then on out.
Like spirits and like I think that was all like spirits and like supernatural forces basically. I think that the thieves in the beginning were testing whether or not he was going to be
But I mean, did it even matter? He gets to the end, takes the sash off, and then he's just like, "All right, I'm dead now."
Like
but he didn't. He had to see like through his
what
journey
would
he
happen?
learned
Yeah,
things.
he had to learn.
And he
Learn and then die.
Do we know that he died?
That's my story. That's
Maybe
what
he
I'm
was
going
just
with.
like,
I don't think. Oh, maybe like Lars, he took him by the neck and he kissed him on the mouth.
yeah, gave
So
him a
in-
big mouth kiss.
in the
I
original
like that
in
that
the-
gay kiss.
in
That
the
worked.
original I
What a
think
queer painting.
I think in the original I believe it's a poem or it's a short story. He gives him a nick on the neck as a sign of like his disdain or like sort of a mark of shame, sort of as like you had to like bring the sash here or whatever. And then he sends him back to Camelot. But I believe in the movie they leave it ambiguous because it's supposed to be that his head gets cut off, and that is like the happy ending is that he was fulfilled in his honor and like fulfilled in like doing the correct thing.
I feel like the story is also that you shouldn't be so goddamn greedy. I'm gonna go for the head chop. He'll be dead, and then I won't have to go see him. Oh fuck, he's getting
Well, he
up.
wanted status and title,
Yeah.
and he wanted to make a show of it. He even says, "Let everybody remember what happened here today,"
He did
because
say
he
that
wants
shit.
to show off. But
Dumbass.
is there anything else that didn't work or did work? And we can go to the next segment. And talk
I wish
more
that
about
the
this.
Green Knight had been just like a Green Knight and not a tree.
Well, it's supposed to be symbolic of nature and a new coming and
Yeah,
like
I
a
know.
rebirth. Of
But they could have
spring.
done that with him being just like a dude in like cool armor.
Mm.
Like when he has green. Maybe there's some like moss in it,
Yeah.
but you know.
You ever seen Fern from
Like the
Adventure
tree
Time?
makeup worked good when he was like, "Oh, I'm an ominous figure in the dark," and then when you like chill with him for a while in the light, you're like, "Okay, buddy,
Just a tree guy?
you're just kind of a dopey tree guy."
You really didn't realize that was King Arthur in the Round Table?
No,
After he was
bro.
like, "What do you see around this table?"
One Carter was like, "That's the round table."
It wasn't a round table.
And then he was like,
it's a
what
horseshoe.
do you see around here? And he's like, legends, people who tell stories. I have no stories compared to them.
Yeah, that doesn't mean the guy was King Arthur.
And
They
then,
never said his name.
And then the old dude was Merlin, bro.
You kept saying that. He doesn't.
The old dude was Merlin.
He's a wizard.
did cast
He looked right. He
message.
looked right at the king. And he was
Cast
like,
message.
"This is bad fucking juju."
This is the
He
oldest
cast
spell
message
ever.
and he didn't have to use copper wire for it
Yeah,
either.
he was like, "That's how powerful."
It's under
it
his
is.
robes.
Manliness.
I don't think so.
I think it's also like coming to terms with like this is a journey of like import, I guess. Like he's trying to get to this goal of becoming a knight, and he wants it, but he doesn't want to act.
He doesn't want to be knightly.
He doesn't want to be knightly.
He wants the glory without the work.
Right. And I think they're trying to like show that this person definitely doesn't understand what it actually takes to become a knight. I think he failed almost all of the tests.
Yeah, he's fucking losing shit all the time.
I think he
He's
like
failing every test.
he like maybe passed the one with Saint Wilfred, but he did try to like touch her and like
Yeah, it was like, "What are you gonna give me? A
what are you gonna give
blowjob
it
when I
back?
get
Yeah,
done with this?"
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
Yeah.
fuck off, bro.
He just said,
Why-
"What do I get for that?"
yeah. Why would you ask me that?
Why would you ask me that? Because do we not live in the world?
The Green Knight is a hunter character.
Mhm,
If
100%.
Hunter as your character would make all the same choices. What am I gonna?
That's
get
why
back?
Hunter's so upset.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have made the mistake of chopping the head off. 100%. I would not have made that. You will receive what you do to me. Yeah, let me chop his head off. That seems
Well,
fun.
if you chop his head off, then you don't have to worry about it because he's just dead.
Super ominous, obviously not a human, walks into the building and says, "I challenge you to a game." No, I don't care that you're about to cut me. Cut me however you want. I ain't afraid of death. Not afraid of death. Yeah, let's chop his head off.
Maybe he's just crazy because he turned into a tree.
Or maybe he's a knight and he has honor.
Ooh.
I 100% would have given him like a cut on his arm or like
Yeah, and then all the round table knights would be like,
Pussy.
"Boo!" I don't think that our boy died. I don't think so.
There was no blood on the stump, so maybe not.
Maybe not.
I think he was
They
like,
left it ambiguous on purpose.
I think he was like, "Time to lose your head," and what he meant by that is he's got to go be king.
Yeah.
And lose his head because he goes crazy.
That definite like the jump forward in time of him like thinking through his life of what would happen and like how his life would play out if he didn't do this was definitely I thought that was cool.
Take off his cum rag.
Yeah.
I actually didn't like that.
Because he got
Hunter
confused.
felt
No,
cheated.
I did. Why give me all of that just for him to be like,
They'd already done it once to you in the movie, though,
when did they do it before then?
when he was caught by the bandits, and he was
Oh, they went forward in time, showed him
and
dead.
he's like, "Look, he's a skeleton now, skeleton."
and then it went back and he was like, I'm just going to roll over. And
Yeah,
get
because he
myself
was
out of
seeing
here.
he was like seeing himself in the future. Like
He
he
was
wasn't
like,
seeing
"Is
the
this
future,
how my
but he was
journey
like,
ends?"
Yeah. It was depicting basically what he thought would happen if he stayed there, basically, if he
Sure.
didn't act.
And then he saw what would happen if he didn't stay there, and he acted, and it was bad. And the Green Knight was like, "You saw that? It's bad, huh?"
I don't know. He lived for another like 30 years, had a kid.
It was
Yeah,
bad.
but the kingdom was in ruin. Like the kingdom was at war consistently. Like
He betrayed his friend. He fucking had his kid die.
He betrayed
Fucking
his
had
friend?
Yeah, Essel.
This is lover. I don't know. Friend, a little more than friend.
They were FWB.
They're just friends with benefits.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did feel yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did feel cheated about that. And it's like, if you're gonna do that, then at least show me what does happen, because he
He had to live a
took
lie.
the sash off.
His uncle was like, "You're a pretty cool dude. I make you a knight." And he's like, "Oh, I don't deserve to be a knight. I'm a bitch with a cum rag on my waist.
That was so
The
wild.
whole cum rag thing is wild.
Anyways, the director was trying to tell a hero's journey where the hero was trying to find the good and greatness within himself. Is like
He didn't have any though.
in the base form of it. I think there's a lot of things you could probably extract from this story, and I think I would need to watch it a few more times to extract more. But definitely it was a hero's journey.
He wanted to be carried on the shoulder of giants. I know that.
He did. He didn't want to have to walk.
He didn't want to walk himself.
He wanted to be a coward. Every step of the way, he tried to take the coward's way out.
See, I thought the fox was his spirit guide, and then the fox was like, "Hey, be a bitch. You and me were a bitch." Because
what the hell was the point of the fox this whole time?
He was the fox. Because foxes are tricky. They're tricksy. Precious.
But he wasn't tricky at all. He was ass at every turn. He failed every skill check.
He did the ultimate trick, which was, I'm going to betray my honor and run out of these woods.
He was just lying to himself the whole time.
Yeah,
the fox was just the final test.
Yeah.
Or not the final test, but...
He was like, take off the goddamn sash and be a man.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I came on this.
I have to keep it. I came on it. It's my property. I came on it.
I marked this. It's my territory. You should understand that as a fox. I think I'd get an animal trainer on there and get a real.
You get real animals instead of a fucking.
There was only the
fox.
fox as a CG.
Nah, the geese were CG too.
The geese were
I
not
wish
CG.
that white goose had more of an adventure too.
What the point? What was the fucking point at the beginning of the movie? I just realized that.
It's a setting of the
But there was a house on fire, and then some lady jumps.
And has to ride off.
Oh yeah, like it looked like the place was already under attack when we pan outwards, and he's sleeping in a whorehouse.
I think that was representative of Arthur's conquest to get us to where we were in the story.
There's also an underlying theme of like nature versus civilization in the movie. And you see that
fires.
And what was that weird
and you
fucking
see that,
boar creature?
Like the Green Knight historically is supposed to be like the symbolic of like spring and like the coming of nature back again into civilization.
The coming of nature.
And like the whole his vision was seeing a world where he progressed civilization into chaos and like didn't let nature and like the honor come through, which was I think another underlying theme was like nature nature and honor versus civilization and cowardice.
Were the giants real?
No,
they were just another test of him pussying out.
And that boar, the boar monster that Lars killed was was representative of a man of honor can slay any beast.
I think you just
no
made
matter
that
how
one
big
up.
and bad it is.
I feel like you just made that
even
one
if
up.
you're not a knight, if you're just a hunter.
I feel like you just made that one up.
I thought you'd appreciate that because you're a hunter.
I would have liked to have seen his head get
Not a
cut
funny
off
joke.
or not cut off, but I understand why they left it ambiguous.
I guess you could have it go either way. I don't think he gets his head cut off, personally. I think the Green Knight's a G. I probably would have made the Green Knight a Green Knight and not a tree man.
Yeah.
Well, once again, I think it's because of that underlying
Yeah.
nature versus civilization.
But I would have made him like a big, huge armored bro with like a cloak of living leaves,
I see.
some
Big,
moss,
huge
like a
armored
moss
bro.
cowl, and
I would have got
has
Henry Cavill
some
to play
green
the
smoke
Knight.
coming out of his helmet visor.
Hunter
Yeah.
would have changed this into a comedy led by Adam Sandler.
No, I was gonna say the pacing felt off, but I think it's okay. I'd have to watch it.
Kind of
again.
all over the place.
Yeah, it sort of ebbed and flowed.
I actually really liked the whole chapter thing. That each time we moved into a new chapter, it was like did the thing on the screen. That was
It
kind
did
of okay.
feel. Did this come out after The Witcher?
He said 2020.
2021.
When did the first season of The Witcher
I think
come
it came out after, technically.
I thought 2019 was when
felt-
it came out.
Similar stylistically, I think. It had Witcher vibes. I
It
feel
did.
like.
Definitely had some of those aesthetics. But I think that's also because they were like not going super heavy on the magic, which also Witcher is not super high magic.
There was a lot of magic.
I feel
in this movie.
stylistically though, like in the costume design choices and like the lighting and set blocking and all that, it had a similar feel.
I can feel that. Anything else we would change?
Maybe there should have been more about the scavengers in the beginning. I don't know. It just felt really I'm gonna go do your quest for you. Don't you worry.
It's because they weren't there, bro. They were the ghosts of Christmas past.
Close to the past.
Yeah.
Who was present?
Because they were the conquest of the king, caused all that devastation.
Sure.
So they were like picking the bones of the old world.
Right. And who's ghosts are present?
Wilfred.
Winifred?
Yeah.
Why is she present?
Actually, Lars might have been present.
Yeah.
Because he fits that character.
And he was like, "You stay here with us."
Wilfred is death, so she's future.
She must have been
She's future because she's already
She had the head shot off. Oh! Yeah. This is a Christmas movie, 100%. This is fucking a Christmas Carol, but in medieval. It's 100%. Did it go that way in Christmas Carol? Was it past,
no,
future?
It was past, present, future.
Okay, shit, bro.
They just shuffled them up.
Yeah,
a
they
little
shuffled
bit.
a little bit.
He himself was the ghost of Christmas future.
100. The whole time I thought Lars was gonna be the Green Knight. The whole time, like that
And
is the Green Knight.
He might have been because he said, "If you come back this way, we won't be here."
We'll be gone.
Yeah, because he had to ride down to the chapel and get into his tree costume and sit there for 2 days. He's like, "Damn, I really wanted to be in my warm house, but now I have to sit here and pretend to be asleep."
Is it Christmas?
I was a little upset that he didn't know how to start a fire, and I also thought that cutting his hand would play more of a role.
It was fake. Why would it?
Yeah, he never cut his hand.
Never cut his hand to begin with.
I don't think he ever left the town.
It's very possible he just went out into the woods and came back.
I think Essel gave him some mushrooms and he just tripped balls for a year.
I think all in all,
Fun.
yeah, the movie was fun. It was actually enjoyable, as much as I'm being like, the thing that like, it's actually, the movie was good. It's the main character that's pissing me off the most.
You're supposed to be pissed off.
Like, he's such a fucking little bitch, coward boy.
Michaela made a really good point while we were watching about how we were all rooting for him at the beginning. By the end of the movie, we were like, "Oh my god, get your fucking head cut off!
Just go die already,
dumbass baby!
You've made every wrong decision, you little fuck, you little Tim the Tap Man skin wearing bitch."
It really makes you want to vote, root for him because there's such like a essence of like greatness that could be had, and then he just squanders the opportunity.
The thing is, though, straight from the beginning of the fucking movie, I was like, "You're an idiot. Do not chop his head off," and you chopped his head off.
No,
you already begun
that. Like, he lost his boots. He was hung out, over in the street.
I think this movie is a solid 8.
Whoa, that's high.
8 or 8.5 because I'm the host.
Yeah.
I think it's an 8, 8.5. I like all of the film. Like, the story is really good. I think the cinematography,
the cinnamon sticks.
Yeah, the cinnamon sticks are really good. It's really shot well, and I think the acting is really good as well.
I'll give it up for the acting. The acting was pretty darn good. Other than, I mean, good graphics on the Fox, but but no, yeah, I'd say the acting is pretty good and stuff. And I also really did like the cinematography a lot. I think, like we talked about the colors and I had said how the chapters changing and like all that stuff is pretty good. So I think most of that stuff would initially bring my my rating up to like an 8, but I just like the main character really pissed me off, which again is the point of the movie. And then the whole thing that made me feel like I felt cheated, I'd honestly bring it down to like a 6.5 or a 7.
It's the same thing with Old Men, No Room for Old.
What? I give that movie like a 9.
Yeah, that was the same thing though. They're like the main character dies in the end.
No, it's not just about the main character dying in the end.
You weren't feelings in the end. You had the same feelings about Baby Driver when there was a.
But they didn't cheat me. All of that was real. It was canon. Yeah. Canon events.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's the story. This is how it went. And you watched
and then
how
Tommy
it became
Lee Jones
like that.
became Spider-Man.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'd give it like a 6.5 or a 7. But with the cinematography, like all that other shit that makes a movie, yeah, it's like an 8, 8.5. It just made me so mad.
Damn. That's low.
My rating could change as time goes on.
What about Carter?
Carter? Give that motherfucker
for picking this trap.
Give that motherfucker a 1 because
Travesty.
he should have picked Troll Hunter.
I couldn't. It was illegal.
I'd give Carter He picked.
based on this movie.
He did a very thought-provoking pick, so I'll give him a 9.
Whoa, that's a high one.
Thanks.
What'd you get for Baby Driver?
I don't know.
Like a 3?
I don't think it was a 3.
I don't remember. May put it on screen. What did I get for Baby Driver?
Speaking of putting things on screen, May, give me 7.5 cum rags. Yeah, I was sitting around. I was sitting around an 8, and then the fox started talking, and I was like, "Oh God!"
Oh, that brought you out of it?
Yeah.
Dude, I was like, shit, bro. These graphics are good, and the voice acting's good.
I liked when Hunter got scared by the severed head, though.
It did get me. I was like, oh shit. It did. It got me for a second there. I just didn't expect it.
You know what? Because it scared Hunter with a severed head, I'll bump it up to 8 cum rags.
8 cum rags. I think
8
that's
cum rags.
I'm happy with getting an 8.
Who knows? I might go up on a
Rewatch. It is definitely one of those movies where I feel like I got more out of it the second time through.
I wanted the Green Knight to be more of a Dark Souls and a real fox. Those are my biggest complaints. And because you besmirched animal actors like that, Carter, I can only give you a 7.5.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Oh, you gave him a 7.5.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll give you the
No,
7.5.
remember, Carter
I was giving
hates
the movie.
Carter hates furries. You're gonna give
Yeah.
him a 7, honestly.
Animal actors.
Animal
different
actors are
than
not furries. They're animals that act.
Right, but
Like
furries
Beethoven.
are like their second cousins.
Like Beethoven 1 through how many Beethoven movies were there?
6 or 7.
3?
More than the Star Wars
There's
series.
more than 3.
No.
There's more than
I don't
3
think
Beethoven.
Beethoven.
There's a shit ton of Airbuds too.
Airbuds. There's
Air Buddies. There's Air
yeah.
Bud.
I feel like Beethoven.
Airbud 2,
Did
Electric
3.
Boogaloo.
All right, ready?
Let's see.
There's
Uh-oh.
Beethoven.
There's
There's
Beethoven's second.
There's Beethoven's third. There's
Uh-huh.
Beethoven's fourth. There's Beethoven's fifth. There's Beethoven's Big Break. There's Beethoven's Christmas, and there's Beethoven's Treasure
Hey,
Trail.
there's a Christmas movie in there.
Hey.
So there is
just like what we watched.
How many of them were theatrical releases?
there's
though?
8.
I think only 3 were theatrical.
Oh, it's
releases.
just under the Star Wars series. I love that we watched a Christmas movie.
Yeah, for Christmas.
Yeah. Is your movie going to be a Christmas movie?
No.
No.
What is your movie? We'll find out.
I don't like that.
Can't have you guys watching it before we get to it.
Definitely won't watch it, but you should know if we've seen it or not.
It's The Road. I told you the last time.
What's The Road?
That's one. I know Carter hasn't because I've asked
I
him
haven't
about
seen
it
it.
before.
Anyways,
Scary movie?
thank you guys all for joining us on Older and Dumber Presents The Green Knight Gaslight Theater. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and let us know what you think about The Green Knight if you watch it beforehand.
Yeah, tell us in the comments if Ezra Bridger lived or died.
I don't think you can say that.
What's his real name? What was his name?
Patel.
Dave
Gerwin.
Patel.
No, it's
Tell us in the comments if Gerwin lived or died. At the
Gavin.
end.
Garwin.
It's
Gawain.
Gawain. It's
Gowan. Guam.
Tell us in the comments what his
Gavin.
name is phonetically.
Please help
It's
us.
Dev Patel, and it's Gavon or Gavon.
Who plays Ezra?
Not Dev Patel.
It's Dev Patel. It's Dev Patel. It's Dev Patel. He doesn't have his headphones on anymore, so he can't hear us.
Because I only looked at
It's
his movies.
Iman Estfandi.
Oh, well.